May gusto ba kayong malaman sa mga dance idols nyo?
Or gusto niyo ba silang mapanood doing different dance challenges?
How about dance events, local dance community trends, up-and-coming choreographers, dance teams, dance classes, dance balls! Or dance chase! Woo! Interesado ba kayong malaman yan? Directly from them.
Then join us every Saturdays, 8 p.m.
For a 15-minute of online chikahan and kulitan,
with your favorite local dance personalities.
so that we can connect, involve, and inspire.
And remember dito, bawal ang nega. So it's just gonna be pure fun and
Good vibes.
This is Reden.
And this is Ate D.
Join us Ayan na!
Alright!
Hello!
Magandang gabi, Ate D!
Yes, good evening, Reden. Ang ganda ng background mo, ha?
Yes, naka-virtual background ako ngayon na office kasi sobrang formal ako ngayon at excited ako sa guest natin. Yan. Ang smooth ng virtual background ko. No?
Oo nga, parang formal na formal.
Formal na formal. Although naka-shirt ako.
Okay lang yan. Ayan, so good evening, everyone. So,
Yes, good evening, guys.
Here at Good Vibes Evening po. And ayan, I'm sure merong mga tao dito na watching na. So, we want to say hi to you guys. Feel free to comment dito sa ating comment section below. And yun, say hi, send shout out, or whatever you want to say. Yan, ano yan. Feel free because we'll announce it here. And of course, I'm sure sobrang excited na yung mga tao ngayon.
Totoo, Ate D.
Yes, diba?
Yung iba dyan, nagko-comment na ng mga questions nila.
Oo nga sana. So we're so excited. We're so excited to hear it from you guys. And but before that, let's go to our community update first.
Yan. So, unahan ko na, Ate D. I know everyone knows that UPIPS is in World of Dance. So, congratulations, they made it to the top 12 na teams in World of Dance Season 4. So, ayan, abangan natin pa yung mga susunod ng UPIPS. And tignan nyo naman yung suot nila dyan. Pero sobrang proud na proud sila na Pilipino sila. Yan, talagang nire-represent nila tayo. So, guys, supportahan natin ng UPIPS. Alright.
Alright, and next up, ito na, next nating ipa-plug is the Dance Hall Manila. Ito ayaw magpaawat itong Dance Hall Manila.
Opo, nakikita ko yung mga post nila about classes nila.
Actually, para sila yung lagi natin pinopromote because they just don't stop spreading dancehall and the love and the knowledge for dancehall. So, ayan, again, they're having I think this is the part, parang batch 3 na to ng kanilang community class. So as you can see from there, they have different classes every week from members of Dancehall Manila, and meron din sila mga guests from other, meron yata silang one international and also from yan. So
abang-abang talaga yan.
Yes. Ano pang ipopromote natin? Reden, let's go.
Okay, next, syempre, ipopromote ko din yung sariling atin. Axe Flix, guys! Alright, the Axe Intensive classes now on its 3rd batch. And mag-start yung classes natin August 15 sa mga kids natin dyan, yung mga adults natin dyan, and mga young at heart. Join na sa mga classes namin, sa mga online classes namin, yan. So, hintayin namin kayo doon at magkita-kita tayo.
Yes, batch 3. And speaking of another classes, if you're looking for other dance naman, we have pole dolls. So meron silang pole dance, stretch, and lab, I think. They have different dance classes. Ayan. So just visit their website. They're having their open dance classes every day and every week. And then
exciting yan.
Classes. So if you're interested in learning pole, just go ahead and check out their Facebook page.
Alright. Yan. So, yung mga community updates natin.
Let's talk about our guest for today, Reden. Ano bang narinig mo about Sir J?
Actually, honestly, ako, hindi ko pa siya nami-meet personally, but for the past guests na nakakasama natin yung mga coaches, is laging siya yung binabalikan ng mga kung ano yung mga natutunan ng mga coaches at kung ano yung mga tips na binibigay nila. So I'm sobrang excited ako na makasama siya dito sa show natin. So ayun, sobrang hindi ko maitago yung excitement ko. So ayun, excited talaga me. Kamusta? Na-meet mo na ba siya before?
Hindi, nakikita ko lang siya kasi yun nga, during nung Miriam Company of One Days ko, si Jay naman yung leader ko. So, tapos na nakaka-compete namin yung UP Street. So, of course, I always hear his name. And yun nga, dun sa mga competitions na nagdaan, diba? So, maririnig ko talaga, kilala mo siya. And yun nga, as you've said, naging common name siya na nababanggit lagi ng mga past guests natin. So we've guests mostly mga yan sila Mimi, Shayna, sila Von, sila Mix, yan. And of course we also had other coaches not from UP Street, pero yun nga, laging when we go ask them the question ng background nila, laging si Sir J. So dahil dyan, we are bringing Sir J here
tonight.
Yes. Okay. Para naman sa kanya natin malaman and marinig directly yung mga styles niya in mentoring, in coaching, na I'm sure makakatulong sa ating mga viewers right now. So dahil dyan,
eto na.
Give it up for Sir Jerome Dimalanta. Let's go.
Alright.
Sige, Reden.
Yan, Sir J!
Morning!
Good evening po!
Good evening! Hi guys!
Hello po! Ayan. So, Reden, ano bang masasabi natin kay Sir J?
Yan, guys, introduce ko lang naman si Sir J muna bago natin siya tanungin. Alright! Founded the UP Street Dance Club and the crew way back in 1997. So, grabe, sobrang OG. Okay? At isa siya sa mga pundasyon ng Philippine Street Dance Community nang naman. Alright. He is the coach of the coaches and the mentors of the mentors. Sobrang excited ako pakilala po kayo. Trace the root of the great dancers we have today, and you'll find this guy on the top of the tree chart. Please welcome again, Sir Jerome Dimalanta.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up,
hello, sir. Magandang umaga po.
Good morning.
Anong oras na po ba dyan, Sir J?
It is now 6 a.m.
Wow, 6 a.m.
Thank you.
So, medyo binulabog namin, guys, si Sir J. Okay. Nagising namin siya ng maaga just to bring him here. And kamusta naman po kayo, Sir J, about the pandemic and all? How are you coping?
I guess, just like everyone, trying to survive and thrive, just adapt, you know.
Yeah, ba?
We're all good. I'm good.
Yeah.
My family's good. Thanks for asking.
Yes. And there's a
Yes.
dog, meron ka pong hawak na doggy in front of
Yeah,
you.
this is
Naman
my
yun,
dog
Sir J.
Logan, named after Wolverine. See, he
Sino
looks
po?
like
Oh,
Wolverine.
Logan. Wow. Hello, doggy, Logan. Ilang
cute
years
yung
na po
dog.
siya?
Anyway,
Ilang
he
taon na?
wants his 5 minutes of spotlight, in the
Yeah.
limelight. So,
Pwede, Sir J.
Ayan.
Pwede po.
Sobrang cute ng dog.
all right.
Okay, sige. So, let's get on to our question for Sir J.
Sure.
Kasi
Mhm.
I'm sure maraming magtatanong dito. Ayan na sila. Shayna, sila
Nagsisimula na. Ang dami na.
andyan na sila. So I'm sure maraming
Yes.
magtatanong later. So kami na po muna magtatanong, Sir J, ng questions namin for you. Okay,
Sure.
so for our first question po, let's go back to as usual, we always go back to the roots of our guest. Let's talk about the very day that you founded UP Street Dance, or yung time na you were thinking pa lang of forming UP Street Dance. What were you thinking about then? And where were you coming from as a teacher, as a dancer? What was the vision for UP Street Dance Club?
Yeah. So basically, at that time, I was starting out as a lecturer in the University of the Philippines, and I started the first street dance class, I think, ever in the Philippines. So through that, I got to meet a number of students, and we had this one performance where a student of mine from the UP Theater Arts asked me if we can put together a group, because they have a performance for their event. And so I said, all right. So let's do this. I'm gonna handpick some students from my basic street dance and some from my advanced street dance, and then we hastily put together a dance that we performed in the UP Lagoon. And then after that, I was like, oh, this actually works. They actually look good. So at that time, there was only like UP Filipiniana, UP Pep Squad. And I was thinking, why don't we have a street dance group here in UP? So I asked each and every one of them, like, do you want to be famous? Nah, just kidding. I said, do you guys want to form a group with me? We'll start a street dance club, and then we'll see where it goes from there. So they were pretty much stoked, because I guess they didn't have any groups at that time and there wasn't any choice. So I think one of the things that I made sure to make them excited about it was for me to share my vision to them. And I told them that this is going to be big. We're going to create a venue for students where they can express their ideas and creativity through choreography. And we're going to develop their skills and movement confidence through dancing. So basically, we want to engage students in lifelong learning. I'm all about that. I'm all about learning. You don't stop. Even if you think you're at the upper echelon of your industry or your career, you can still learn something from someone. So that was my goal. Basically, that's how we started. That was way back in 1997. Oh my God. Memory.
Ang tagal na. Diba? And super and now we can see even yung mga students na nag-graduate na talagang they carry that family bond with the team, no? Talagang hanggang ngayon, and even kahit yun nga, Sir J, ikaw, nandiyan ka na sa US, we can still see the family, yung bonding, and yun nga, yung relationship that you had with the group. Okay, so Reden, I think you have the next question.
Yes, I think lahat po ng students nyo ay may nakuhang values and yung mga techniques from you, Sir J. So yung second question ko naman ay, what are the values and principles that you made sure your students bring home with them?
Values.
Values.
Yeah, there's like so many values that I think we shared, and I kind of imparted to them, and I kind of break it down to this acronym because we have a program in the UP Street Dance Club called MAD, and I usually break it down with MAD. So it's basically mental fortitude, attitude, and discipline. That's how I break it down. So when it comes to mental fortitude, as a dancer, you do experience and go through a lot of challenges, like from trying to fit in with the group, trying to learn choreography, trying to like understand where your coach or your teacher is coming from, and trying to like blend in with the whole group and really like, clashing personalities and all, trying to understand everyone. So you have to have that mental strength to actually go through all of those. And if you don't have it initially, then you'll develop it for sure, because you'll grow as a person. And attitude basically is the never give up attitude for me. That's one of the most important things. It goes in the way of learning a dance. You don't give up, even if you feel like you keep on failing, you keep on trying, keep on practicing, and then you get it. Never give up, even in competitions. So even if you feel like the whole world is against you and you have no chance against all of these really big names that you're competing against, you just do your best. You just show up. That's the thing. Show up and do what you're supposed to do, and just deliver. And then, of course, the most important one is discipline. Oh, my students know this a lot. Yeah, I'm a stickler for discipline, especially punctuality. I always make it a point that for me, I will show up on time or even earlier. And I try to carry that over to my students. Like if I have training at 7 p.m., I have to be there at 5:30 or 6 p.m. no matter what. I was like that even before. So even in all of my classes in UP, let's say my class was 7 a.m., I'll be there at 6 a.m. because I always tell this to my students, it's not being on time, but it's respecting the other person's time. So it's not about you, but it's about the other people as well. And I'm sure you guys are like that too. I'd rather be there a few minutes earlier just so I can settle in and relax than be like a few minutes late and hurrying and being like stressed about it. It's better to chill and then just, be ready for what you're about to do. So those are the three main components, the MAD for me.
MAD. So again, MAD. What's MAD, Reden?
Mental, attitude, and discipline.
Yeah, mental fortitude, attitude, and discipline.
Our program pala, just a plugging in UP Street Dance Club. We have a program called Make a Difference, and it's been running for a few years now, where we support scholars, out of school youths and disadvantaged youths, and we try as much as possible to like teach them the same principles that we learn in the UP Street Dance Club and try to support them in their studies. So if you want to help out, then just contact any UP Street Dance Club member. Thanks for the plugging.
Sir J, di ba ang UP Street ngayon, I think, nakakapag, na kayo ng scholars talaga? Di ba? Galing-galing. So
it's really good. And I appreciate it. Wasn't my idea. It was the idea of my officers in the club before. So I applaud them. Thank you so much. And the program's still ongoing. So
sobrang
it's giving back to the community, right?
Saka yung new generation talaga. They will benefit from this.
Yes.
So, Sir J, since right now, di ba, you're in the US now, pero the contact is still there. syempre yung mga students mo, they carry the whatever they learn. How do you remain involved or connected with these students right now?
Yeah, actually, I don't. No, kidding. No, I still do because a lot of times my former students who are now in their own right, exceptional choreographers and directors and coaches, they would like message me from time to time and just say like, Sir J, can you take a look at our piece? Can you critique our piece? Can you see what we can do better so that we can improve on it? And I would like look at it and then just see maybe you can work on this, or maybe you can tweak this part, so on and so forth. I mean, I try to input whatever I can from my experience, what they can improve on, because I think the street dance club scene has changed a lot in the previous years, but there are still like foundational things that you have to know about dance, and you always go back to that. You have to make sure that you actually focus on those things to have a really good composition and choreography. And then of course, whenever I go back to the Philippines, I get invited to judge competitions and appear in concerts and shows. Like the last time I was there, I think it was 3 or 4 years ago, I actually danced in the UP Street Dance Club concert, and that was a treat for me. I really enjoyed that. I thought like, I hope my creaking joints can still do this.
I'm sure it's still there.
Just drink some. Just take some Alaxan and all that painkillers.
Parang keep going lang po, no?
Yeah, you're gonna survive. Just the day after, you're gonna feel it, but while you're doing it, you feel like awesome, and that's what we do. I try to, as much as possible, to still be connected with them. Although I know it's hard. The distance is hard. It's like having a long distance relationship, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes it doesn't work. But from experience, but here we try to make it work. Yeah. So it's not just my students, by the way, but even folks from other groups would consult me, and that's fine with me. I'm not exclusive, I try to help out as much as I can, especially if it's for the dance community back home, because the dance community back home gave me a lot, so I try to give back a lot too, if I can.
Okay. Oh, guys, alam niyo na, pag kailangan niyo daw ng critic. Maya, bigla nag-message kay Sir J.
Biglang dinumog si Sir J. Ayan, Sir J, alam naman natin na maraming students ka na ngayon coaches na, and alam naman natin na proud ka sa kanila. So, yung next question ko is, what goes on your mind when you think all about the achievements of your students?
Really looking back, look at those pictures. Yeah, looking back, and looking currently at what's happening right now with all of these guys, achieving a lot, like winning competitions and doing awesome concerts and productions and stuff like that. It just makes me feel so proud, because I know that they've invested a lot in it as dancers. When they were under my tutelage, they had to endure a lot. But I would like to think that I was a part of that, and that makes me happy somehow. Being part of the journey of a dancer is always like a special thing for me. If I can help out in some little way, if I did, then all the better. But I always tell my students and my coaches that at a certain point you have to outgrow me. You have to go beyond me. You have to be better than me. And I'm not like other, let's say, coaches who would like hold back students and not want the students to like be better than them. I actually tell them, you have to be better than me. You have to like exceed what I've done or exceed what I've accomplished. And it's not, it doesn't lessen me. It actually magnifies what I've passed on to them. So that's one advice that I would tell the teachers and coaches there. Like, let your kids grow, let them bloom, because in a way, all of their successes and accomplishments will reflect back on you. Okay, so don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Like, let them take classes with other teachers and other coaches and other instructors, because that will only make them grow. I never like, have a handhold on my dancers and tell them that no, you only take classes with me. You're only gonna train with me. I want them. I actually encourage them, like, take modern dance classes, take ballet classes, take classes with other instructors, and see what you can get from it, what you can experience from it, and make it an experience that will make you grow as a dancer. Okay, because that's what I'm all about. It's about growth. It's about not being stunted. It's about like moving out of your comfort zone. And yeah, that's true. I actually forced my dancers before to take a ballet course with some UP ballet dancers, and I told them that, yeah, I know you're not comfortable, but we're gonna do this.
Foundation yun, no? Saya kaya.
Oh yeah, like that basketball players actually do some ballet training too to increase their jumps, right? Yeah, they cross train in ballet. So I think we were way ahead of our time when I was doing that with them. Like, if other people found out about it, they were like, "Oh, what's that all about?"
Yeah. Awkward. Pero yun, Sir J, you are really a part of the community right now. Diba? Kasi, again, the reason why we guess you, because your name always pops out in every interviews that we did. And di ba, Reden, yung competition scene here, di ba? Masalang competition scene. I mean, I feel ko na it's because of what UP Street ang tawag dito, yung sinet nilang standard, because sila yung lagi na natalo. And of course, we always go back to their trainer, which is Sir J. So,
the competition scene there is intense. I mean, it's crazy. There was a time, like, before I left the Philippines, like, people were saying, because there were so many competitions, like Skechers and 99.5 RT, I think, and some other competitions, RX, and then people were saying that there's too many, it's just gonna implode, and then that it's gonna die off, and so on and so forth. And I was saying, this is actually a good indicator, because it's basically just beginning. It's still going to grow. And that's what's happened over the next few years. Like, I saw it grow. I thought it was already at its peak, and then it's just expanded. It's just global, actually. So it's an exciting time for the dancers there. And I'm glad to have been a part of it. So, props to you guys.
And then thank you din sa'yo, Sir J, kasi marami kang na-pass na values and
madaming
magagandang
nakikinabang
techniques. I mean, yung mga naituro mo from your students, nagpa-pass on na lalo sa mga students ng coaches ngayon. Yun din yung mga sinasabi for ng mga coaches na interview namin noon na UP before, na yung mga trainings and values na binigay mo sa kanila, yun din yung pinapasa nila through their yung sa mga students nila. So thank you so much po for that.
Yeah, because even before I was doing training with my club and my students, I always treat my students as athletes, and I train them as athletes. I look at them as athletes. So everything from conditioning to what they eat to how they think, everything is wrapped around to being the best that you can be. And my background is human kinetics. So I applied most of my training techniques when it comes to conditioning and when it comes to their well-being to dance. So that's why whenever we have competitions, it's like a season. You prepare for it and you train for it, and it's not just haphazard. I guess that's a tip that I can share with you guys too. Like, if you're going into something as intense as a competition, look at it as not just, putting together a dance for 1 week or 2 weeks. No, you have to prepare for it like months ahead. You have to build up to it so that by the time that you have the competition, your athlete dancers are already at their peak. And then when they're on stage, they just explode. Boom.
Sabog.
Full of energy.
Sabog. Oo.
Yes.
Full of
And
energy.
And yun naman, yun talagang nakikita natin, di ba? Yun
exactly. And
Yun
I,
lang,
I
yun
myself, I
That's why.
myself get actually surprised still, although I see them every day training and practicing with me. But when they're on stage and you see the culmination of that, and everything just comes together and everything just explodes on stage, it's just like, wow! Even I'm amazed. Like, how did they do that? But yeah, it's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. I'm sure most of you know that. A lot of things have to come together in order for the group to really be successful. I'm going to share something. All my Skechers kids will remember this, and I'm sure they hated that moment in their lives, but they got the championship, so whatever. So
Let's hear it.
we won the first Skechers competition, and then the next year I said, I'm gonna train you guys as athletes. This is what we're gonna do. So like, basically it was 1 year's worth of preparation. I had them come up with personal diaries. So each of them had to have a notebook. Each of them had to note down what they were doing and what they were eating, and if they were doing the extra training outside of our training, so on and so forth. And I checked that. I was very strict with that. And
Nice.
a lot of them like remember that time, I'm sure. And I was like, if they would, let's say, drink soft drinks or soda, and if they would party hard the night before training, they would hear from me. And I wouldn't actually punish the person who did that. I would punish the whole group.
Yeah.
So the person who did that will sit prim and proper up to one side, watching the group perform and do the punishments, like all of 100 push-ups or whatever, or Tabata training, and they would be glaring at the person who actually did the wrong.
yes. And yes.
Grabing parusa yun, no?
And then mararamdaman nung person yung guilt.
Exactly. And you know how, in a group, it's all about peer pressure sometimes. It was an effective thing that time for sure. And I'm sure they remember that. But yeah, that's you have to be creative and think out of the box whenever you're doing training with a team. And I always tell my team, like, we're not supposed to be a one-trick pony. So it's not just being good in competitions, but it's also being adaptable, being able to, like, let's say, if somebody calls us and they say, okay, we need a performance from you, but it has to be a mix of folk dance and street dance. Sure, we'll do it. Or can you guys perform and do this commercial for, let's say, a noodle brand? Sure, we'll do it.
Yes,
Noodles? We'll do it. So it's all about that. It's being adaptable. It's being like creative. It's thinking out of the box. Everything comes together just like that. And then there's magic.
Grabe. So, ayan, notebook technique.
Yes.
Diary.
Sabi ni
kanina ni Aina, nasa kanya pa daw yung notebook niya.
Oh, really? Nice.
He kept it. So grabe no, talagang babasahin ni Sir J yung ano, isa-isahin mo. Ano din
Oh,
siya,
yeah.
sobrang work din siya for you, Sir,
Yeah.
and for the coach.
Definitely.
Grabe.
Definitely. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's whatever you see during training, that's just like the tip of the iceberg. That's like 10%. 90% of that happens behind the scenes because a coach will think up of the choreography, will rack his brains trying to put together steps. And this is one thing that always happens to me, right? Like, it doesn't matter if it's a competition or if it's a concert, like, I would dream about it. That's how much I obsess about it. I would dream about it. I would dream about the steps, and then when I wake up, I would get my notebook and write down the steps because it looks good in the dream, so it must look good live.
Wow, may revelation, no? Nangyayari.
The revelation, your vision.
Revelation.
And
Grabe.
vision.
Ganun ka creative, umabot sa dream.
Oh yeah, yeah. And
Ganun ka.
also, as a coach and as a trainer, you don't just keep it to yourself. Whatever vision you have of the dance, you have to share it with the dancers because they have to get equally excited about it,
Yes.
right? So
Same feeling.
yeah. So that's what I do. You know, guys, I thought of this, and this is what we're gonna do. It's gonna look like this. And sometimes my dancers would be like, but once they see the process, once you're putting it together, and once they see that, oh, so that's how it goes. Now they understand. Now they get a better appreciation of where you're coming from, and they kind of respect you for that, and they'll follow suit. Whatever you tell them, they'll just trust you. So that's very important to establish the trust between the coach, the instructor, and the dancers. And you can only achieve that if you really share your vision, if you share your being with your students. I would say that, dance is like an artwork, and the coach, the choreographer, leaves his mark, his signature on that dance because you're sharing a part of yourself. You're sharing your soul. Whenever you create a dance, whenever you create a choreography, you share an essence of yourself. And I truly believe that. And people will appreciate if you put in that time and effort. They see that too. That's why I guess my dancers kind of like respect that side of me because I always share my vision with them.
Yeah.
Diba? Sarap pakinggan.
Ma-appreciate mo yung ganung feeling. Talagang na-amaze ako doon sa kwento na yan.
Man of vision, di ba? Kaya nga man of vision siya, si Sir J. Marami nagsasabi. Okay, so we learned a lot from that, Sir J. Thank you for sharing all those
Thank you, Sir J.
beautiful
You bet.
tips and mga experiences. Okay, so I think
Seeing
we
a
are
lot
going
of
to our next
messages.
Yeah. Ready na sila. We're going to our next segment, which is what we call the community Q&A.
I love that. That's
Guys, for
awesome.
the community Q&A, Sir J, we what usually happens is we ask the people, yan, yung mga nanonood ngayon, to throw in their questions.
Yeah.
So guys, if you have any questions, just type it there. But for now, medyo ready kami. Meron kami mga phone-in questions
Sure.
for tonight. So there will be there are people we ask to share first their memorable experience with you, and they have a question for you. So
Ayan.
go VTR.
I will remember Sir J as someone who was very generous and selfless with his time and with the knowledge that he has and the effort that he put in to train us. You know, we weren't an easy group to manage. We weren't an easy group to deal with, but he took care of us. And he made sure that we know our craft, we are educated. He made sure that we are trained well, and I am very, very blessed to be one of the people who really experienced being trained by Sir Jerome. who is now also our ninong sa kasal. So yeah, that I think that would be the most memorable thing I will take in my heart, and I will treasure the most. Thank you for that, Sir J, for training us and for molding us. I know at that point when you were doing it, you didn't really see it to become this big, you know. Na we are gonna be a family of choreographers, a family of artists, a family of coaches. But we are now, and it was because of your hard work, dedication, and just being selfless and generous to us. So thank you. You wear so many hats, Sir J. You were a professor, you're a fitness instructor, you're a dance choreographer. You invest. What for you is the most challenging hat to wear? Meron lang akong pahabol na tanong. Sa lahat ng mga tinuruan mo sa crew, sino yung pinakamakulit? Yung talagang rurok, di mo matik, makulit talaga. Sino?
Ayan. So,
Excited ako dun.
Sir J, first question, most challenging hat to wear. Thank you.
I'm in the hot seat.
Yes. Thank you, Rosie, for that very calming message.
Thank you po.
I was so zen while she was
Yeah.
talking. Like, really beautiful sentiment, though. Thank you, Rosie. What was the first one?
Most challenging hat to wear daw po.
Most challenging hat. I think for me, it wasn't being a teacher. It wasn't being a trainer. It was being a counselor. Because it's dealing with the different personalities. That's what was hard for me. And, sometimes I have to be kind of like impassioned, like really push down any emotions so I can deal with whatever it is they're dealing with, because they're looking to me to be solid. Like whatever bad happens inside or outside of training, I have to be like, stable. I have to be like consistent, and I have to be there for them. I have to be the rock for them. So yeah, dealing with different personalities, you have to have a degree in psychology before you become a trainer. That's one of my tips.
True.
It's like, oh my gosh, you have to be a father, you have to be a best friend, you have to be,
Advisor talaga.
yeah, you have to be everything in one package. And you really can't separate them. You can't just treat your dancers as dancers, because you basically spend the most time with them. Sometimes, like there was a season in my life, I was spending more time with my dancers than my own family. And I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that. Like you can, sabi nga ng mom ko, oy, ito na yung border natin. Because I was just in and out.
Lang para matulog.
Yeah, I was just there in the house to sleep. So yeah, that was the hardest for me. And yet the second, I'm going to get in trouble.
The second question, ay nagkakagulo na nga sila, Sir J, sa comment section. Nagtuturuan na sila kung sino daw yung pinaka-makulit naman.
Well, I think he won't. So it's a guy.
A guy.
And he won't be offended because he knows it. It's Randall San Gregorio. That's you.
Si Coach Randall.
Coach Randall. Oh my God. This guy, he doesn't stop. He doesn't stop. And when you're at that point, like during training, when everybody's tired and everybody's like super exhausted and just want to like collapse, he will crack those jokes and he will make those quips and inappropriate comments at that time. And you will just laugh your butt off. He's that crazy. To the point na sabaw na everyone, and he will just wake everybody up. It's a
Kapulitan in a good sense, ha?
I'm not offended
Yes.
by it. I actually welcome it.
Yung kakulitan na kailangan
Yes.
para ma-enlighten ang mood. Ayan. So dahil dyan,
Yes.
kay Coach Randall, dahil
Award.
ikaw ang pinaka makulit, ayan, let's hear it from him naman this time. Let's hear what he has to say.
Fondest memory ko kay Sir J, aside from yung mga gigs namin noong nasa UP Street and crew pa ako. Sir, naalala mo yung sa Sabungan? Siguro, fondest memory ko kay Sir J, yung nag-compete kami noong 2016. 2016 sa HHI sa Vegas. Naalala ko noon, fresh na fresh si Sir J nung fresh na fresh si Sir J nung pumasok, nung tumira sa bahay, tapos nung paalis na, Hagardo Versosa na siya. Sa sobrang stress na inabot namin nung HHI na yon. Kitang-kita mo talaga naglabasan yung mga, nag-iba yung aura niya eh. So, bumalik yung dating Sir J nung hinahandle pa niya kami sa UP Street. Na-stress ulit ang lolo mo. Siguro isang question for Sir J, no? What advice would you give sa mga bagong coaches or sa mga aspiring dance coaches and trainers? Yun na lang. God bless you, sir. Stay safe always. Kita-kits soon po.
Ayan.
Yun.
Ang serious ang question niya, kahit siya yung pinakamagulo. O, di ba?
I like that term. Yeah, Hagardo Versosa.
Hagardo Versosa daw siya. Parang nagkakala dito sa comment section sinasabi yung sabungan na yan, Sir J.
Oo nga, yung Sabungan, Sir J, interesting.
It's funny because we get into all of these like gigs that sometimes I don't know how we got them. And this gig, we were invited to like perform, and we, of course, we said yes. I think it was in Cavite or one of those places. And then when they brought us to the venue, it was like a sabungan.
Oh.
What the heck is this?
So yung event sabungan?
Actual sabungan.
Wow.
And we were supposed to perform there. It was like, oh my gosh, what have we gotten ourselves into? And I'll tell you another one. So there was this invite from a province, right? And they wanted us to do street dance. So yeah, sure. I gathered together a group, and then we prepared for it. We come up with a 30-minute performance. So when we get there, the organizer had us in a bountiful breakfast. So it was really good spread. So while we were eating, while we were talking, the organizer said, "Oh, so this is what's gonna happen, right? So we're gonna go down the street in a parade." So I guess, oh wow, they have a promo parade. That's cool. And then we have our Santo being walked down by a few people, and you guys will be dancing behind them. So I said, that's kind of weird. It's a religious street dance experience. And they were like, and then you'll be doing all of these polka and whatever. It's like, oh my God. They think it's street dance. Street dance, Philippine street dance. And I was like, oh my God. I'm sorry, but I think you got us wrong because we are hip-hop street dancers and not street dancing.
Yeah, so, parang mga parade dancers.
Parade dance.
I didn't realize we had to walk with a few statues of saints while we're going down the street. So stuff like that happens. But it's funny. I have so many stories like that, like the Sabungan thing and the Santo thing. But yeah.
Let's go to the question of Randall. Best advice.
Second question about advice to the coaches.
Aspiring coaches.
My advice, my premier advice is just be ready for anything. Just be ready for anything. Whatever situation you get yourself into, just know that you have to be mentally prepared. You have to be emotionally prepared, spiritually prepared for it. So sometimes the struggle comes in the form of putting together the dance itself. And that's a lot of technical stuff that you have to know. And then there's the emotional side of it, which is dealing with the various personalities in your group. And then there's the financial side of it, which is dealing with the money issues, especially going into like competitions abroad or even local competitions, because you have to spend for costumes and stuff like that, and be prepared to talk to the parents. Yeah, my favorite thing of all times, the stage parents. But I always think I try not to think negatively of it. I just think that the parents just want the best for their kids, or they're frustrated dancers themselves. So they're bringing out whatever frustrations they have through their kids. So I try to understand that. I try to adapt. See, be adaptable. That's the advice.
Be ready for anything and be adaptable.
Be ready for anything.
Yes. Okay. Sige, dahil dyan, meron pang isang magulo dito sa comment section natin. Siya naman yung next nating pakinggan.
Favorite moment ko with Sir J, siguro yung yung Skechers 5 Elims namin. Kasi bingo talaga, super bingo. Alam ni Sir J yan. Grabe yung ginig ni Sir J sa pagka-stress sa akin. So, yun siguro. Alam ni Sir J yan, memorable sa kanya yan. Kasi isa ako sa pinakamabait niyang alaga. And simula noon, di na ako na late. Kasi super late ako. As in super late. As in halos compet proper na ako dumating. Halos wala ako sa blocking. So, yun, grabe yung stress na sa akin. So, yun, I think Skechers 5 Elims yung pinaka. Marami pa pero yun yung pinaka talagang nag-snap si Sir J. Nakalimutan niya yung kasino ko. Okay, kung gusto niya, parang kung pwede lang saktan ako, sinaktan ako ni Sir J ng time na yun. So, yun. Yun siguro yung pinaka-memorable sa akin with Sir J. Marami pa Yung hindi ka matamaan yung laptop niya. Yan, nagtapon ako ng pop. Ang dami. Okay. So, ang dami talaga. So, yun. Maraming maganda, pero yung pangit, yung masarap malalahanin kasi grabe yung galit ni Sir J sa akin. As in, ang lala. Yun lang. Thanks, Ax. Bye.
Ay, wala siyang tanong. Hindi, actually may tanong siya.
Reaction.
Nagkwento na lang siya. May pahabol question siya na sinendala niya sa amin. Sino daw ang best batch ng UP Street? That's his question. Pero if you want to say anything sa kwento niya.
I'm gonna be shocked that every batch is the best batch for me. But so they all think that they're all the best batch. But yeah, the thing about whatever he's experienced, good and bad in the group, you really remember those moments, and they're the stuff that memories are made of. That's why after a competition, when I get the medal or the trophy, I say, I deserve this trophy. I deserve this medal. You know why? Because I made it through all of those hours of training and competing without stabbing someone with a plastic fork. And that's it. I deserve a medal for that.
Totoo naman. Sa lahat, ikaw ang pinaka na-stress. And
I don't want to be violent, but yeah. No, and this is the thing. Oh, I have another advice for the coaches. Dance really is personal and it's very emotional. So there will be times when you lose it. There will be times when you get, frustrated, when you get angry. And sometimes it happens in training. Sometimes it happens in a class or a competition. But my rule of thumb there is just leave it at the studio door. Okay, whatever happens, leave it there. Outside is a different world. Okay, so don't carry that over to the outside world. Once you're back in the studio, then you deal with it. But outside, leave it. That's it. Don't take it personally.
that's not
Because
true.
because it's so easy to like bring it home with you and stress about it and so on and so forth. But yeah, you have to compartmentalize so that you can be an effective coach and an effective leader for your dancers. So know when to leave it, know when to deal with it.
Yeah. Okay. Next, we have we have three more,
Yeah,
Sir J.
sure.
Ang dami kaming baon. Next, watch this next.
Hi, Sir J! Before anything, sir, we just want to say thank you for everything. Thank you for taking care of us and for guiding us all throughout the years. My favorite memory of you were our 7 a.m. trainings during UP Street competition seasons.
Trainings.
Favorite ko yon kahit sobrang aga. Tapos there were times that you would bring us pandesal. Tapos the trainings would last until 4 p.m. And super love ko siya because training siya and I get to be with the whole UP Street family.
My favorite memory of Sir J, every time we have our coaching trainings, kasi we were all trained to coach under you also. And I remember our first session, iniwan mo agad ako on the spot, baptism of fire. So, ano siya, kumbaga, I learned right away. And thank you again for guiding us and coaching us. Can't wait to watch your interview.
We miss you!
Bye-bye!
Bye!
Ayan, from Vimy and Shane. Ayan po yung question nila, Sir J. What was your favorite competition? Street?
With UP Street, I think for me the most memorable one. Actually, I'll cheat. I have to. The first time that we won Skechers, that was so memorable for me because the team that I had back then, it just gelled magically. I don't know how, but we kind of put it together. I know that we weren't that prepared compared to the following years, but that one set the tone. Like that one, the expectations were so high for UP Street, not just in Skechers competitions, but all the other competitions, that it forced myself to grow as a choreographer and to grow as a coach, because I had to do better than the previous year. I have to be a better version of myself the next year. So it's the same thing. Same thing applies to my dancers and my students. They have to be better. So that kind of set the trend for me. And the second one would be, of course, the most memorable one would be our first win in HHI with the crew, with the adult division. That was a small, tight-knit group of guys, and they just made magic on stage. And up to now, I still remember watching them on stage and getting the chills, and seeing the whole Filipino delegation and everybody else in the stadium cheering for them, even their competitors, was just like, it's a once in a lifetime thing. So I will never forget that. That's it.
Thank you kay Vimy and Shane. Anything you wanna say dun sa shinare po nila?
Yes. You know, it's those quiet moments where you actually make really good memories as well. I remember that I would bring pandesal for the whole group before training, because if it's a holiday, I would call for a training very early in the morning all the way down to the afternoon and evening. So we'll be having breakfast, we'll be having lunch, we'll be having dinner. And I am so sick and tired of seeing you guys, but we love each other, so let's do it.
Okay, sige, let's go on to our last video.
Sure.
Hello everyone, kina Vincent, kina Jane, and sa lahat ng Apps family. Hello, kay Sir J na kakachat lang namin kagabi, and we promised him na hindi kami magiging makulit. Hi sir. Anyway, kami ni Sir J, siya kasi yung parang naging tatay ko na eh. Once na tumutong akong Manila, 1999, no? Until nung nag-migrate siya, magkasama kami. So yung mentor-student relationship namin medyo malalim. Kumbaga parang sa lahat ng mga naging estudyante niya, no? Kami yung may pinakamaraming away. And anyway, ups and downs, ang dami. So from nung time na sobrang immature pa ako, andyan na siya. So ang dami niyang tinuro sa akin until now na immature pa rin ako. So there. Fondest memory, I say memories kasi sobrang dami talaga, no. I've learned a lot from this guy and I'm forever grateful. And siguro yung ano na lang, yung latest na lang na memory na sobrang the other day lang namin pinag-usapan. I think few years ago, finally na-invite ko si Sir J na pumunta dito sa amin sa province. It was his first time, I guess, dito. Tapos sabi ko sa kanya, Sir, don't have to worry anything. Sagot ko lahat and I'll make sure na sobrang busog ka. So, one of my plans na gawin namin is mag-scuba diving since hindi pa niyo nagagawa and may access ako dito. So, there. To make it short, usually kasi pag nag-scuba ka, for beginners especially, kailangan mo nang mag-start sa pool and then before bumaba sa dagat, no? Pero since medyo ka-close ko na yung mga instructors, binulungan ko yung isa, sabi ko sa kanya na, Sir, hindi naman naabot ng 10 feet yan, no? Sabi ko, huwag mo nang dalhin sa pool, diretso na natin ng dagat yan. Hindi yan naabot ng 30, sabi ko. So anyway, to make it short again, no? So, instead na mag-practice muna kami sa pool, bigla siyang hinatak ng instructor papunta sa dagat. So, yeah, muntik niya na upakan yung instructor. But eventually, no, nakita na medyo nagpapanik na siya sa ilalim ng dagat, napakalma din naman siya. So there. Questions? Siguro marami ng about dance related na naitanong kay Sir J. Sige. First question would be, kailan ka mag-aasawa, sir? So yun, I guess sobrang excited yung dance community, yung mga nakakilala sa'yo especially, na yun, finally, ikasal ka and you'll be happy. And second question is, since nasa US ka naman na, and andito kami, kailan mo kaya sasabihin sa dance community or sa mga ka-close mo yung totoong mong nickname? Okay, bye!
Wow.
Thank you sa storytelling na yon. Sobrang talagang kwentong detailed. So,
pero grabe yung tanong. Feeling ko excited yung tao sa mga
scuba
tanong.
story is like something that I want to forget.
Pero pinaalala niya talaga sa mahabang kwento na.
Yeah. So now, you know, I do want to settle in the Philippines as much as possible, because I don't see myself staying here in the US for a long time. So if ever I do that, if ever I do come back, then probably that will be the perfect time for me to like really settle down. Hopefully. So if there are any candidates out there, raise your hands.
Hi. Girls.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
Baka pa namin magkabang sa'yo, Sir J.
And then the nickname, nah, let's forget about it.
Ano kaya yun, no?
It's not something I'm proud of.
Ayan, ayaw niyang sabihin, guys. Okay. Sige, sorry, meron pa po palang isang video. This one, last na to.
Sure.
Nagtitraining kami palagi sa Quezon City, pero nakatira kasi ako sa Parañaque. So, there's this one training na sinabi ko kay Sir J, bossing hindi po ako makapunta sa training kasi financially burden yung family ko. Kailangan ko ng money. Ako yung breadwinner. Ako yung jula ng bahay namin. So, baka pass na muna po ako kasi hindi ko po talaga kaya. Tapos parang sabi niya sa akin sa phone, mag-cab ka na lang, punta ka dito, training tayo. Ako na lang bahala. Tapos, akala ko naman parang all the while, it's because gusto talaga niyang makompleto kami or importante talaga kasi lagi lahat ng training namin. So, pumunta ako. every time kasi na magsa-start kami, meron kaming devotions. So, tawag namin Bible study. Tapos, nag-Bible study kami before kami mag-training. Tapos, binigyan ako ni bossing ng bottle na punong-puno ng paper bills. Ang sinabi ni bossing na, mix galing yan sa aming lahat dito sa the crew. Sana makatulong yan sa problema mo sa pera, sa problema mo sa family, sa problema mo sa bahay mo. Sumiyak talaga ako nun kasi never have I imagined a mentor that will support me not just with my dance, but with my life. And I'm trying my best every day to pay forward for that. Lagi ko yun kinikwento sa mga students ko. So, naiyak pa rin ako hanggang ngayon. So, Sir J, nakakamiss. So, yun. I guess sa lahat ng memory ko, yun yung natatandaan ko. Sir J is not just my mentor in dance. He is like a model in my life. How he generously gives. So, yun lang. Bossing, nakakamiss ka. Q&A, kailan ka? Yung question ko, kailan mo balak bumalik sa Pilipinas? Yun lang. Bossing, miss you.
Ayan, kailan ka daw uuwi ng Pilipinas?
Kailan? Teka, I'll shed a tear first kasi nakakaiyak. No, thanks, Nick. That was really nice sentiment. I actually forgot about that. Thanks for reminding me. And that's a beautiful memory too, because everyone kind of contributed to that. So it wasn't just me. So we always try to support each other in the group as much as possible. So it's not just, dance. We really do embody family there. Going back home, especially now with the pandemic, my family back there is like telling me to like come back home. Because it is equally hard here in the US with our situation. Like right now, I'm out of work. The 3 studios where I teach, 2 closed permanently a couple of months ago. And then just last week, the 1 remaining studio where I teach, I saw the announcement on Facebook that they were closing too, because they couldn't make rent. Rent here would be like $20,000 to $30,000 a month for a studio, a small size studio. And so now I'm just getting by with, I teach in Google, and they're still like, continuing to support me. And I have my online Zoom classes as well. So racket on the side. That's how we survive. We try to adapt. Everything about me is like going home. I really miss the local scene. I miss the Philippines. I miss my friends back there. And hopefully soon. I do want to like get back into the local scene and try to help out as much as possible, especially with the new generation now. Although I heard it's much harder. But they haven't dealt with me yet. So, but yeah, it's exciting. I see the direction where the local dance scene is going, and I think it's a bright future for Philippine street dance. So yeah. Hopefully soon, guys. Hopefully
soon daw, guys.
Excited na yung mga estudyante mo, Sir J. Yung makabalik.
And right now sa comment section natin, ano na sila, parang magkakaroon na sila ng gathering later on. Nagkaroon ng reunion.
Ready na silang pauwian ka, Sir J.
Yes. See, so the OGs of my club, they have this private Facebook group, and they have this game night every weekend.
Oh, okay.
So they still keep in contact. Like some people are in Singapore, some people are in the Philippines, and they're still like connected. And that's what family is all about,
Kaya,
right?
Yes, totoo po.
kaya sobrang ano pa rin, matatag
Solid.
talaga ang samahan.
Solid, yeah.
Solid po talaga.
Yeah, ayan, thank you so much sa mga nag-send in ng kanilang question.
Yes!
Ayan, kita mo naman, 1 hour na tayo. Dapat 20 minutes lang.
Oh, no
At
kidding.
marami pa rin nanonood.
Let's
Yan.
extend it 1 more hour.
So yan, dahil dyan, okay, we have to cut some segments. So para
Yes.
we can shorten it. We'll jump straight to lusot ka ngayon, Sir J. We'll jump straight to our last segment, which is
Yes.
Fast Talk. Ayan.
Oops, you
So
caught
for
me.
the Fast Talk, ayan. So wala na yung sayang, wala na yung dance challenge. Next time na lang yan.
I was dancing.
Gusto
What's
mo
fast
ngayon?
talk?
The Fast Talk, Sir J, we're just gonna throw in some phrases that you have to choose from or questions that you have to answer very quick. Okay, as fast as you can. And okay, let's go.
Let's go with the first question. Purple or violet?
Purple.
All right. Next, chocolate or pulveron?
Chocolate.
Yes. Old school. Concert or competition?
Concert.
Yes. And train in the morning or train in the evening?
Train in the evening.
Next po. Ito, Sir J. Late sa training or late sa music?
See, when you're kind of late to music, like just a beat, it looks like you're laid back. It's like, late to training? Nah, never.
So, late sa music.
Yeah. Late sa music. Next, merengue or salsa?
Oh, salsa is like, close to my heart. I love salsa. So
Salsa.
Music or art?
art.
Drawing.
I
Art.
used to do a lot of painting and art.
So that.
Nice.
And then we have dogs or cats? Dogs! Marvel or DC?
Marvel!
Iron Man or Captain America?
Cap.
Summer sa Pinas or winter sa US?
Of course, summer sa Pinas.
3 words to describe your life right now.
Content, peaceful, and hopeful.
Okay, and lastly, bad vibes or good vibes?
Yeah.
Good vibes.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Sir J, for
You're welcome.
us.
Thank you, Sir J.
Thank you for everyone who joined us and made this show very interesting and fun with all your comments
Yup.
from the people from UP Street and the crew. Yan, nandiyan sila JMs, Rosel, hello, Rosel.
Yeah, yung mga student ni Sir J.
Oh, ayan sila Rosie, Diana, and ayan. So thank you so much. Sir J, anything you want to promote?
Well, first of all, I just want to thank Ate D and Kuya Reden.
Thank you po.
Thank you for having me here. And of course, Vince and Jane. I miss you guys, and thank you for giving me this opportunity. Just please check out the Facebook page of UP Street Dance and the Crew for any upcoming events. And please continue to support them, as well as support all of the other groups back home in the Philippines, whatever event is coming up. And let's just grow together, thrive and survive together as a community. Okay, all good vibes.
Yes,
Good vibes.
all right, thank you guys.
Thank you, Sir J.
Thank you, and that's it. That's the end of our season 1. Yes, season 1.
Season 1, congratulations.
And we ended it with a bang. So next week, wala muna tayong Good Vibes episode, but stay tuned for more surprise guests that we have for the
Yes.
coming days, coming weekends. So thank you guys for joining us for this online chikahan and kulitan.
Kasama ang ating mga dance idols where we connect, involve, and inspire.
Kung saan ba walang nega, but it's all pure fun and Goodbye.
vibes! Yes!
Congrats, guys.